Alright, welcome back, traders. Hopefully you had a nice weekend, and well, we had some interesting price action this week. Alright, we're about to close this candle here. I mean, obviously closing in the red on the day is not really what we want to see, but we're still technically in this this bear flag on the weekly chart. And right now we're actually still technically making a lower high than we did the previous weeks here, but we are continuing to make these higher lows, so something to watch. We're maybe coming into a tight compression on this range right now, and this is something that we also want to be paying attention to. The daily chart here, momentum kind of just sitting, kind of stagnating here on this range. The weekly, actually, though, is kind of interesting to me, where we have this divergence building and forming here on the weekly chart. Now we're not out of the woods by any means here, but when we start to make divergence like this on a weekly time scale, this is something significant to look out for, right? You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that we've confirmed a bottom by any means, but we are definitely holding these levels here pretty good. You can see the volume coming in here last week and even this week, even though right this very moment we are going to close a technical red candle here right now. But we didn't bearishly engulf this candle. It's not signaling to me like a major rejection or a major rejection type of candle, but we are still technically in this downtrend for now, until we start making candle closures above, you know, 22.5K. That's really the level, man. This is the weekly 200-week moving average, and that level we really need to start making closures above to really see price action go back to the upside, right? So we're going to look at the tether chart here. The tether chart is technically still bullish on the RSI on the weekly. We can see also that we're starting to, you know, build some bearish divergence here, much like the opposite on the Bitcoin on the weekly chart there for Bitcoin, right? So we haven't really broke this this bull flag yet on Tether, right? So we didn't make closures below the 6.86% level here. If we started doing that, we could probably confidently say that this is going to go much lower, which means that crypto would go much higher, but we did not confirm that just yet. So yeah, I would be looking out for you know, if we start making closures or making candle closes below this 20.5 area, and we really start to see selling come in here, then we could really come back down and test the bottom of this range, and even this bottom wick down here around 17.7, if we really start to see some selling come in. Okay. And for upside targets, I would say, again, a break above 22.5 is what we're really looking to see. Okay. Yeah, but this to me today doesn't look too good. We make another lower high up here. All right. And whoops. And yeah, today's candle engulfing yesterday's price action. You know, not really a good look. I mean, kind of a nothing candle. We didn't really do too much here over the weekend in terms of price action, obviously, but we're still in this structure for now. All right, that is all I'm going to say. The daily stochastics look like they're maybe coming down here. We just got a cross down We're still in this squeeze here. So if we start triggering the squeeze and we're seeing lower highs being made, we could come back down and test the bottom of that rising wedge, right? So that is something to pay attention to. Get some music on here for you guys. Let's see. I don't know how loud this is going to be, so cover your ears. Okay. Yeah. So the tether chart is something to really pay attention to, right? We did get a this was one of the lowest weekly candle closes we've seen since June of 2013, or sorry, June, like last month or so. But we haven't cleared this flag just yet, right? So it's still technically in an uptrend. We would like, if we want to see crypto go higher, we need to see closures below the 6.88% area here. Okay. And we're going to go look at the DXY. And we're also going to see there is some weekly bearish divergence here on the RSI for the DXY, which, you know, higher high on price, lower high on the relative strength, and right at a Fibonacci level where we could see a movement down, right? And yeah, we can see that this is definitely parabolic, and it is respecting this parabola curve right here. And it really wouldn't take too much if the dollar starts pulling back and starts breaking this structure. We could see the dollar come back down to retest where it broke out from, you know, this 103 area, and that would bode really, really well for the equities market. And obviously, lots of stocks are really wrecked right now, so it would make a little bit of sense if the dollar did pull back a bit. Okay, and again, divergence forming here, not confirmed just yet. We haven't broke this trend. Yep, we can check total too here in a second. I think I was drawing something here the other day on total 2 chart, just to try to get an idea. Of last bear market, we saw a 92.5% correction from this top to bottom. We only did about 77.5. So if we did something similar, that would be, you know, still another leg down, right? That would be like, I mean, that would crush this market if we did something like that this time. But you can also see the weekly on total too. We have the same divergence that we're showing on Bitcoin. We're also showing on the altcoin market right now, and that's implying movement potentially back to the upside here in the coming weeks. All right. All right. So we got that weekly bullish divergence to watch, man. That's big stuff to see on the chart, implying a major move back up. So on the shorter time scale here, you know, we could come back down and test the bottom of these ranges to confirm another, you know, more accumulation here. But yeah, that's it. We have yet to produce a higher high. We still are making higher lows for now, until maybe we do see this market roll over. I mean, I don't. It's kind of uncertain, man. I can't sit here and tell you, you know, an exact scenario. The weekly bullish divergence that's forming here on Bitcoin is still maturing, right? We could get, man, what happens if the market just starts selling off and we just get a big spike of negative momentum? right? That could kill this divergence in 2 seconds, right? So, but for now, it's maturing, and we're seeing less and less negative momentum, and so that's a good sign. All right. And the RSI is still pretty wrecked down here at 29. One would think we would get some sort of relief down here, at least to reset this oscillator and move the price to a lower high. If they want to bring this market down again, they're going to have to pump it to get the right risk to reward for shorting this market down to, you know, lower lows. Right? I'm not looking for shorts down here, to be honest with you guys. I'm looking to long-term accumulate some of these assets down here already. All right, we're gonna go look at the fear and greed index, the Newport chart, and the cycle repeat chart. So fear and greed today is around 20. We're still in extreme fear levels. Okay, and the cycle chart is saying, hey, we're gonna get a leg down. Okay, that's what the cycle chart's saying. Cycle chart is saying we dump to 15K by the end of the month. That's what this thing is saying right now. All right. And then it's saying by December we bottom out at $8,200. That's what it's saying. So prepare yourself, because, well, this could just be a fake out on this divergence. Like I said before, we could get another spike of negative momentum to crush that weekly divergence, and we could just see more selling come in, right? So we'll see how this plays out. See how it plays out. Like I said, still in a downtrend. We have not broke this downtrend yet. Nothing to get excited about just yet. All right, so that was cycle chart, fear and greed, and the Newport chart here. Obviously, we're still in capitulation. So again, long-term areas to be buying Bitcoin according to the Newport chart. Every single time we go into these pink areas here, these are capitulation areas where long-term, if you bought in these anywhere in these areas, you made out pretty well. Okay, not financial advice. This is just something a tool that we use here to determine what stage emotionally the market is in. All right. Perfect. All right, so I'll be taking some of your guys' requests here. If you guys have any. We have 11 people watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Oh, actually, it's more. It's 14. Great. Make sure you guys smash up the like button if you guys are enjoying the content. And, of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Take the little bell. Get all the updates here. Even though right now I'm only doing one stream a week, I'm probably going to start ramping up the content here as the markets start to show some sort of bottoming or show some sort of reversal that we can be excited about. But we're not there yet. We're not there just yet. We could have some more pain. We shall see. There was something interesting happening with AVAX. All right, I was looking. That's right. We have SAR version 5 tomorrow being released, and I can flip that on the chart here real fast for you guys. So SAR is stands for parabolic stop and reverse. And obviously I don't have these settings dialed for this coin, but you can see, even on the hourly chart, some of these longs coming in really nice. You can see these longs up here, and let's see. These longs down here were nice, right? So SAR version 5 are being released tomorrow to the community. Make sure you guys stop in and check it out. All right. There were some coins I was looking at. I was looking at Alice, man. This thing was pretty wrecked. It looks like it made some sort of... I mean, there's no confirmation of any of this right now, but this thing is pretty destroyed. It's $2. It was a $28 asset. Right. So even if it just rallied off these lows and touched the top of the range, you know, you're looking at like a almost double up in price from these lows down here. You know, 62%. Pretty significant move. Sushi is in a nice wedge formation here. Synthetics as well. Lots of volume signatures coming in, and you can clearly see the divergence that built out on this asset and this rounding action here on the bottom. Yep, Solana also in a wedge. Yep. Lots of these altcoins looking pretty primed for moves right now. We'll see about the cycle repeat chart and the dumps that it's calling for right now. I'm a little. I'm not saying that it can't, but it's just at these levels and these levels of RS, the relative strength and everything that we're seeing on these charts, just looks to me like we get at least some sort of relief rally first before we maybe capitulate further. And the longs here on Sol, and the shorts here on Sol. I mean, again, my settings aren't dialed for this, but yeah, there's lots of different ways you guys can automate your bots with SAR version 5. All right, we have our DXY makes me TT. I don't know what that means. But yeah, this weekly divergence here on Solana is a big deal. Like, it's never had this type of divergence form, right? And it's already done an 88.6% retrace, all right? That's a pretty deep retrace for a major layer 1 blockchain. I'm inclined to believe we're going to see some upside. That's what the charts are basically saying. Could take some weeks, could take some time to build up this divergence. Right, we've been building it. It's about to come out of negative momentum. You can see that we're about to get a bullish cross here soon. If we continue this price action, right? If Bitcoin just starts to dump, markets just start to dump, then this can be negated, right? And we can see the RSI come down even lower, right? Because the monthly, you know, the monthly has room to run to drop down if it wants to on this asset, and probably most of these assets, but. Bitcoin's the leader, man. We just got to watch what Bitcoin does. And every single time Bitcoin's come down to these lows, it was pretty close to a market cycle bottom. All right. Again, I'm not calling the bottom right now, but I'm just saying, now when we usually get to these lows, it's pretty close to a bottom, if not the bottom. Right? Look at the weekly. All right, guys, girls. Anyone have any other requests? Ethereum Classic made a big move today. I wonder what went down there. It was up 30% on the day. That makes sense. Main Street Capital Corporation, or is this some sort of crypto? Angel. This actually looks pretty good, man. That monthly doji reversal candle, and this might actually just break out. Yeah, you're just getting a weekly cross-up on this asset. Nice reversal off the 786 fib extension. Yep, 6.3% dividend on this one. Monthly looks good too. You got the stochastics RSI just crossing up down here. Okay. I think for now, at least until September, I think we're going to see some movements up in the market. At least to go, I think we're going to go and test that 20. You know, if we can get back above 22.5, I think we can see 28K pretty fast, or even close to 30K pretty fast. Like, let's go to the 6-month chart. It would make a lot of sense if we come up to test this right here, this $28,000 level. Before maybe, you know, capitulating down to this, you know, $14,000 level, right? Because if we don't make, you know, 6-month closures back above 46K, there's no way we resume this bull market. So, you know, I'm not bullish until we actually start making closures, you know, above here. You know. So we could do this. Come up to test it, reject it, make one more capitulation, and then bottom out down here, and then we can go on our run, is what I'm thinking. there's no reason to believe that we bottomed out just yet, man. Like, we don't even have confirmation of any of that. Like, we can get a nice leg up, though. We can break up out of this rising wedge, right? Like, the weekly is signaling right now we have divergence, right? So the next couple weeks we could see some nice upside is what I'm thinking. You know, even up to this $27,000 level. Like, just touch this wick. We could break up out of here. We could just break up out of here and then, you know, fail to break higher. We'll see. I'm not the magician. I'm just seeing what you guys see on the chart. So I saw yesterday's close lower than, you know, negating the previous day's candle. Not good. We're going to see how today's price action goes. If we can make a higher high, if we can close above 21.7, that's pretty good. That signals to me we can go higher. For now, we're probably going to come back down and test these lows based on yesterday's price action candle. We'll see. We're still in the parameters of the rising wedge. We haven't broke down. We're just in the parameters of it. We could chop around here for a month. Who knows? Right. That shouldn't stop you from accumulating some of these assets long term, though. Even if we do see another 50% drop in the price. Right? You guys see the optimism call out, double bottom on this one? Looks like at least it goes to test 72. Polka dot breaking out of its little falling wedge there. And we had a little back test candle today. We're looking like it bottomed. A lot of these coins look like they're bottomed and like going to stage some sort of rallies or retrace rallies. I'm not saying we go into a bull market, man. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying after an asset, you know, dumps 90-something%, it could easily see, you know, 30-40% retrace and then make another lower high and then maybe making a lower low. Just be cognizant of what's happening on the charts, guys. That's all I'm going to say. All right, if you're lev trading, you know, make sure you're managing that risk. If you're spot trading, just pay attention to your levels on the weekly charts or whatever time frame or time scales you took the trades off of. For me, I took AVAX long here, and I'm just watching this demand line here. Okay, if we start making closures below $16, well, I'll probably just get out of my trade because, well, it's probably going to go and test the bottom of this range, right? 750s or even as low as $4 if Bitcoin starts crashing. You know, this asset's also going to crash. But to me, what I'm seeing here is some sort of rounding like we did over here. Like, why wouldn't it just do exactly what it did over here looking left? Makes a lot of sense for it to come up to test $38 after crashing, you know, from $150 down to $13. You know, even a move to $60 wouldn't be out of the cards because it's so oversold, man. Like the RSI is sitting at 31. Like, it could come up to test 40, right? Test the neutral territory. Now, I'm not even talking about testing bullish territory. I'm talking about testing neutral territory. Anyways, you guys get the point. I think we could see some major retraces, maybe before we see lower highs confirming and then lower lows, maybe for one other leg down in this market. We just have to pay attention to these levels and see what the momentum oscillators are telling us to get kind of an insight, right? So we already have an edge here on the chart on the weekly telling us we're building some weekly bullish divergence, and that's a major thing. So we need to pay attention to that. All right, guys. I know I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but just continue to be diligent in watching for these levels, right? Yeah, I mean, very well. If Doc can get back above, this $8 level, we could easily see $13 for DOT, or even come up to test this, $11, $12 area here, which is this resistance right there. Okay. Some interesting looking charts right now, to say the least, or at least some sort of short-term rally. S&P up 0.17%. Some buying came in. You can see that long wick there, but we didn't make closures above this 39.13 area. We would like to see that this week. If we can see some price action, make closures above, we can get a nice push out of this little consolidation structure here. One might call it a wedge, and you can also see the momentum on the S&P, diverging here on the 3-day time scale. And it looks like to me we're about to get a 3-day bullish cross on the MACD, which signaling to me we could see some upside here as well over the course of the next few days once we do get that cross up. All right. There was some a couple of coins I wanted to look at. Aave was one of them. I think I was looking at the weekly on this. Maybe it was the monthly. It was the 2-week chart. Interesting. Why I charted on a 2-week chart, but yeah, you can see the nice compression here on the wedge here for Aave. And I think, was it AVAX that triggered a 2-week squeeze? So that's something to pay attention to here. We triggered a 2-week squeeze last week. So we could see some fireworks here the next couple weeks from this asset. We'll see. It could trigger short too. But we would have, if it was triggering short, it would have started last week. We would have seen some major capitulation out of this. We're not seeing that. We're actually seeing buying volume come in here on this asset. That leads me to believe it's actually triggering long. All right. GMT? Sure, we can look at it. The cycle chart, how often is it wrong? I mean, it's wrong a lot because it doesn't always do the exact price movements shown. It might do some variation of it, but I would say right now, unless the stock market really just starts tanking, like I don't think we're gonna crash down to 14K right now. So GMT looks like shit. This looks like it's coming lower. Everything's pointing down on this asset. Sorry, I'm not too entertaining on the charts tonight. I'm just trying to look for some nice setups here. Let's see. Kusama looks interesting down here. Maybe some sort of harmonic on Kusama. That looks pretty good. .6% retrace. Probably more on log scale, yeah. Almost 100% retrace on log, or on regular, sorry. Yeah, and this is a shark pattern. That's a pretty big deal right here. And wow, triple MACD bullish divergence on the weekly time scale. That's significant. Got your first cross up and your first level of positive momentum that you've seen, man, since like April of this year. And that was here, and you got like a nothing burger move. Yo, Crypto Pants, what's up, dude? You guys want to look at anything else? I was just looking at Kusama here. This thing looks pretty good for a setup on a swing. Oil and gold, yeah, sure. I don't know, you're coming right up to this channel right now. You guys know what happens if you break the channel. Right? Dump down to like 75 bucks. That's oil. And it's pointing down. We had weekly bearish divergence, so we could be looking at weeks of downside. And you're going to squeeze too. Gold. Gold. Gold towards the bottom of a range right here. Right, this could be it could be some good areas for longs on gold. At least short term. Right, you're holding this range for now. This looks like a nice consolidation rectangle up here. And the weekly RSI is already wrecked at 33. You know, you're not showing any edge though, like there's no divergence. Like, you know, here we are showing, you know, this bullish divergence here, right? This back here from February, March, right? And we got this nice little move up here on gold, right? But right now we're not showing any edge. You know, I guess you could hint at an argument of hidden bullish divergence here on the RSI, but no, not really. It's still lower low on price, right? So there's no divergence on gold here, or no argument for it. You're not crossing up just yet here on the weekly, maybe the 3-day. 3-day also not crossing up just yet. You know, we could actually come down a little further here. We could come down to 1685 level. You know, you start breaking 1685, you know, you're going to come back down to this territory here. Right, you could literally just fib this from this swing high to this swing low here and just reverse the fibs, and you know, your next major target is you know, 1600 for gold if you really start breaking these supports. Because there's no edge for the upside here. We're just looking at, you know, well, 3 days oversold. We could bounce here, right? I don't know. This is an interesting area because you're coming down to the support range, bottom of the range again. But there's no edge on the oscillator, right? GameStop. GameStop. So you've been trading in this, you know, $370 to $80 range here for a better part of a year. Yeah, almost more than a year. And yeah, the 3-day chart looks like you're just picking up some bullish momentum here on the 3-day chart. Stokes crossed up. You're heading towards the top of a range again. Right, you did get back above this critical level here, this 115 level. Weekly chart looks nice. You know, sitting bullish here around 53 on the RSI. Stokes kind of curling up there on the weekly. GameStop looks like it's going to make a push, maybe to the top of the range shortly. Stay tuned for GameStop, but this looks like it might do something like this where it comes up to test 325 again, right? Just sitting up here. You guys got any other stocks you guys want to look at? Let's see what kind of earnings we got going on this week. Let's see, we have tomorrow we have Bank of America, IBM, Charles Schwab. Take a look at Bank of America. See what they look like right now. Bank of America looks like you could see some upside here. I mean, you got a 7% move on Friday, right? You got this nice divergence here forming on the weekly for Bank of America, and the Stokes here below 20. This is a nice swing setup here, looks like, right? With a low and a higher low on the stochastics, and you're obviously below the 200-week moving average. Right, this is probably a good place long term to buy Bank of America. Not that I would buy Bank of America, but if you were to be buying Bank of America, this looks like an area where you'd want to be starting to buy it. Right. Pretty wrecked down here on the RSI. You can clearly see there's a low, like a little bit of a higher low, and roughly the same low. Looks like a double bottom there, and the price kind of just been coming down as a relative strength been doing that. So nice divergence there for Bank of America. Netflix is wrecked, and this is looking primed for at least a retrace, or at least a common retrace, right? The low and the higher low on the MACD oscillator here, implying a nice reversal or retrace back up. At least a reversion back to the mean, which would be, probably to the top of this flag, man. We could see Netflix maybe rip back up to $338, or at least to test now what's now going to be resistance here on 241, and that looks like your major level there. First test there. Second test here, third test here, and then the top of the flag. Snapchat doesn't look as good as Netflix, but also pretty wrecked. You do have the weekly bullish divergence forming here on Snapchat as well. You can see that you're about to get a cross up here on the weekly maybe, and this could maybe also do something similar. Looking left, you could see on the chart here. If you start breaking back above, $16, we could easily see a move back up to 18 pretty fast, and then you got levels here around 20. And looking left in the chart, you can see, these are your levels, and that would be pretty close to the 200-week moving average on Snapchat. Tether daily TTM triggering here. CTK. Looks like it's just bouncing around in this range. You got like 3-day bearish divergence forming, right? Not confirmed. Sitting neutral on the RSI. Weekly though, weekly saying something a bit different down here. Right, we can see the weekly is diverging pretty hard. Yeah, the weekly looks pretty good. Got to get back above these critical levels, though. 80 cents looks like a pretty big level there. If you can get back above 80 cents, you could probably see a move to the top of the range pretty fast. Okay, get back above this level. You're in a very low risk area, that is for sure. Okay. Does it mean we can't go lower? No, it doesn't mean that. But I'm just saying that if you were to be trading this, this is a very low risk spot. Okay. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys, and I really do appreciate all you guys tuning into the streams every Sunday. I know sometimes these markets get boring, and you don't really don't really know like the clear direction of where we're going. Well, that's why we're kind of here to try to help you guys understand that. I'm also reiterating to myself the fundamentals that I've taught myself, which is kind of why I also like to do these streams, because it refreshes my mind about what I talk about all the time. And I want to continue to practice good long-term trading habits, because that's how we're going to have long-term success here. Again, so I really do appreciate all of you guys being here and learning. It is going to hopefully help you guys long-term, and that's the goal. That's the goal, right? Looks like space finally broke out of here, man. Nice candle there for space. This looks like we're gonna see some at least a test up to like 16, 17 bucks, man. The weekly moving average is up here. So some stocks look like they're ready to reverse. Some stocks are really wrecked and may never reverse. Correct, Crypto Pants, correct. Thank you, Toe. We appreciate you, dude. Beyond Meat with the weekly bullish divergence here coming in, right? The low and the higher low on the RSI. And the low and the lower low on price, resulting in major reversal here for Beyond Meat. Roblox here also making a move. Zoom to me, I think we had a setup on Zoom, didn't we? How did this end up closing for the week? Yeah, so we closed right at support. So technically, if this holds here, this pattern is in full-on development here, and you can see we got a nice bounce right out this area here for Zoom. I would be looking for longs on Zoom here this week. We could easily see this trade back up to the top of the range and then break that neckline, and you guys know what ensues after that. Zoom looking pretty good. The weekly doesn't look so good, though. This doesn't look good. Daily looks okay. You can see the accumulation right on the daily. See that, right? Got the low. We got the higher low. We got another higher low. And another higher low. And another higher low. All within the price being around the same. So RSI is diverging on this asset. You could see that. And we'll look at AMC, everyone's favorite meme stock. And This is already starting here. We had some divergence that playing out. Test the top of the range, 2133, looking like pretty likely scenario to have happen here over the coming weeks, months here for AMC. All right, that is all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you guys again for signing in, tuning in with us here at STP. Make sure you guys check out SAR version 5 and the VIP. We have VIP tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that and check that out. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful week. Catch you guys in the next one.